So now we're going to draw some different trees. These are done pretty much only with the circle. So to start with, I start drawing a circle. It asks me for a radius, not a diameter. So just remember that the radius is half of the diameter. So if we have a tree that is 30 feet in diameter, that is going to be a radius of 15 feet. There it is. We can double check that by just measuring the distance. I'm curious, so yeah, 15 feet approximately. Usually we need to have some sort of center point for the tree. So we can either do it as an X or as a filled circle showing just a dot or maybe even a trunk. So to start with, if we want to find the center of the circle, this doesn't draw the center, it just puts a point there for us to see. We can type dim center, enter, and select that circle. And now we can see that center point. And we can use it, it's actually a little plus, but you can't really see it as a plus. But we can go in and actually just kind of trace that a little bit longer. Let's say make that like a 4-inch. Do that again. That becomes kind of like a plus. We should only have to do this once, really, for each type of tree. There's one type of tree, and we can select everything and group it if we just want to be able to really easily work with it. Another type of tree, let's do one with kind of a closed trunk. So we could do this one as a 15-foot diameter or 7.5 feet radius. Again, sometimes it's good to just measure to be sure. 3 feet. And then same thing, in the center. And there's that dot. So we can do with this is draw an actual circle in the center. Say it's, we could make it, as opposed to being like the actual trunk, just something small like a dot. We could make that like a 4-inch. And then we could even choose to fill that, so it's a 4-inch circle. Or we can make it even smaller, actually. Make it a 2-inch circle. So we can select this and then go into something called a hatch, which fills it with a pattern. And we can just fill it with the solid pattern. So selecting the hatch and then selecting that circle. So now it's actually got a solid fill. And then we can group these. So there's our second tree. Let's do a very mature tree. One with like a 60-foot canopy diameter, so a 30-foot radius. And then even do dim center for that one. And let's give this a trunk diameter of 2 feet or a radius of 1 foot. So what we could even do with this is also hatch that. And then group that. The last thing we could choose to do is if we want to do some sort of smaller grouped things, let's say very small plantings, 8 inches across. And we're just going to copy these. So now what do we do? Okay, what we can do is we can actually do something called boundary. Let's step to the side for a second and look at what the boundary command does. What it basically does is it will split things into multiple shapes based on their intersection. So let's take these three. Right now, there are 3 distinct objects. However, if we type boundary, it will let us choose their overlapped areas and identify them. So here I can just pick that, hit enter, and it's now turned this into a completely separate object. I can also select everything. Oops, I select all of these. I can now choose just this, for example. It's basically pulled off that shape based on the boundaries. We can use this with all of these shapes, and it won't work if we just have the ones we've drawn here. We need something enclosing it. And now we can type boundary. We can choose the shape in between the rectangle and the drawn objects. And now what you see is it's giving us a rectangle and it's giving us those objects. And for some reason, we have one odd one. You can always say trim and just get rid of that. So that's how the boundary command works. Is to draw a bunch of plump things in a box around them and then choose the space in between the box and the objects. So that's basically how we draw all the different types of trees and vegetation when we